As I was going through my pictures to put in here, I found pictures of my victory and the aftermath of my accident. I hadn't had an accident in over 20 years. Nothing major other than falling over at a in a parking lot or something like that. And what happened was that I tried to follow a couple of guys on sport tours, and they're on. We're up in the mountains in BC, and well, I just got a little bit too confident on myself. I followed them for about 10 minutes before before I had my accident. We're all pretty lucky because that one corner surprised them, and they on sport touring bikes they didn't think they were going to make it, and they made it through. But I came in behind them, and when I saw the corner, I said, "No way, I was going to make that." But I tried. I threw her down. I scraped her all the way I could until I hit the gravel, and I ended up going down into a ditch. But it really came from just trying to keep up with other people, and it was obvious because of the bikes they had. But that corner also was very. I found out by the people who live there that same corner catches 2 bikes per year at least that wipe out in that corner. So I don't feel too bad, but it was it wasn't necessary. I was driving way too hard. They're driving sport touring bikes, and I was basically driving a wheelbarrow. But so that was a hard lesson to relearn, and unfortunately, it was a lesson that I knew. I just decided to push the envelope. When you're traveling, you can't afford to do things like that. So I would suggest that enjoy your riding when you're traveling, especially if you're far away from home, and enjoy your riding. You can ride a little bit hard here and there, but you really have to pick your battles. And remember, it's a marathon and not a sprint. Anyways, I thought I'd just put that in. So these are pictures from my first week in the Czech Republic. Uh, just did this video so some of my friends and family can catch up on where I've been in that. Even though a lot of them have seen these photos, it's kind of nice how they're presented here on YouTube. Anyways, enjoy. One of the questions that I'm often asked, especially of people when I'm traveling, uh, they ask me how I can afford to travel for extended periods of times like I do. And it's it does take money, but it really doesn't take a lot of money. You have to be pretty self-sufficient for one thing. So I do all my maintenance on my bike myself. Yeah, of course I have to pay for parts, but I have a lot of parts with me, and I've already looked ahead at what I might need and what I will need, and I brought a lot of that with me. I I also cook my own meals most of the time, but as you're gonna notice on my YouTube there, I like to eat out once in a while too, but it's almost always at a very inexpensive place, and I try to eat a traditional inexpensive place. So I both eat well and I eat for the minimum budget that I can really. Uh, and as for my budget, I don't really set my budget like per day or per week or what have you, but every decision I make during through the day, whether it's going to buy butter, it's just like being at home. I look for the cheapest that I can buy most of the time. Uh, but the beer that I buy most of the time is the cheaper beer. I don't go out drinking in the bars. I'll buy a few beers and drink them, at the campsite. And uh, I don't go out like to the bars and that at night. That really cuts down a lot. And I do a lot of wall camping, which doesn't cost me anything. But I do like to eat, so you'll see a lot, you'll probably see a lot of pictures and lots of videos of me uh, have to do with food because you know, I like food. Uh, but yeah, every day you know, even when I'm looking for fuel, I always keep an eye. What's the going price for fuel? Okay, what's a good price? And what's kind of the expensive price? So I just every day, all the time, I just make it a habit of you know, of not wasting money. And they wanted to go to the salt mines near here at Krakow, and they wanted 20 euros to go into the salt mine. Yeah, I never went into the salt mine because I wasn't going to pay 20 euros, which is about $30 Canadian. You know, I went into the Taj Mahal and that cost me $20. So to go into the salt mine for $30 is just like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'll keep that $30 and I'll put it towards fuel. I'll put it towards other things. There are times when I will pay what might be considered a little bit outside my budget, but that's few and far in between. I usually I'm pretty frugal with my finances, and to travel extensively, you have to, unless you have lots of money, and then you don't have to worry about this. But cooking my own food, doing wall camping, and just watching my pennies every day. That's it's pretty simple, really.